What's up? Jordan Schumacher here. I'm really excited for this video in the Facebook Ads Accelerator program. So we've spent the last few videos, we've gone over all the funnels and kind of the theoretical stuff. We've built a foundation of what we need to actually launch profitable ad campaigns. Now we get to start actually taking a look at, okay, how do we take this theory and how do we actually turn it into a concrete next step, and how do we actually start launching this thing? So this video is going to be a longer video, but I'm really excited for it because we're going to talk about the first step that you always want to take anytime you're going to launch a new campaign, and that is competitive research and development, competitive R&D. And so we're going to go over a few slides with some information, then I'm actually going to go in real time and actually just break down a few random funnels that I find on the internet. So I'm incredibly excited. It's a longer video, but I promise it's worth it, and I think it's going to be insightful if you stick with me to the end. So let's dive into it. So competitive R&D. And so before building any new funnel, the very first thing that you want to do is ultimately analyze your offer and then take a look at your offer's top 3 competitors. And so the reason that you're going to want to do this is because there's a lot of uncertainty anytime you launch something new, especially if you're launching it to cold traffic. There's just a massive number of variables. You don't know if your targeting's wrong. You don't know if your offer sucks. You don't necessarily know if your product sucks, or you don't know if your marketing is actually what the problem is. And so the way to eliminate as many of those variables as possible is to go through what I call my R&D process, my competitive R&D process. And basically what that allows you to do is take the learnings and the optimizations of your competitors and actually just leapfrog ahead of them, which gives you a much higher success rate, a much higher probability of profitability in your funnels. And so I want to be very clear here. The intent is not to plagiarize or copy and paste any sort of content or copy from your competitors. It rarely works anyways, simply because it's just, if you were to copy your competition, it would not be congruent with the rest of your brand, with your offer, and ultimately you wouldn't be meeting an unmet need in the marketplace. And so most likely your campaign just wouldn't work that well to begin with, but also it's illegal and you can technically be sued. So just don't do that. The intent here is not to plagiarize. The intent here is to take inspiration from your competitors. And so like I just said, the intent is to identify what is working and profitable that your competitors are doing, and then adapting it to your own offer, your own brand, your own personality, which allows you to skip the painful and oftentimes expensive guess and check process of launching a new offer or funnel, where you launch something new, results tank, and so then you play a guess and check game where you're thinking, well, maybe it's the headline, and so you change that and nothing happens. And you think, well, maybe it's the landing page, you change that and nothing happens. And then you just come to realize that, oh, well, it just turns out that this offer doesn't convert using this funnel. And so if you use this competitive R&D process, it allows you to understand what's working in your marketplace with your target market, and it allows you to skip through a lot of that painful trial and error process. So how do you actually conduct competitive research and development? Step 1 of the process is to write down your top 2 to 3 most profitable competitors. You don't need to write down all of them, because the chances are most of your competitors suck. Just write down the top 2 to 3 most profitable competitors that you have for the offer that you're promoting. Then step 2 is you're just going to pretend that you're a customer. You're going to go opt into their stuff. You're just going to analyze the lead magnets, the hooks, and the sales funnels that they're using. I'm going to show you how to do this in just a minute. Then you're going to analyze the types of funnels that they're using. Step 4 is to actually opt into their funnels. So pretend you're a customer, use your real email and opt into their funnels and just see how they're following up and how they are ultimately communicating their offer. Step 5 then is to cross-reference what they're doing with what will resonate with your ideal customer avatar. So obviously some of the things that your competitors are doing probably won't necessarily work for you, and so you're going to want to just kind of map that out. Step 7 then is to decide on the hook or lead magnet of your funnel. So decide, okay, here's what my top 3 competitors are doing. Here's what I think will work for me. Decide on that. Decide on the type of funnel that you're going to use to deliver that hook and that lead magnet. Plan out your funnel and then execute on your funnel. So we're going to cover how to actually plan out your funnel, how to reverse engineer your KPIs, and how to actually execute on that and build it out in the following videos. On this video, we're actually going to go live now, and we're going to do some competitive R&D on some random funnels in real time. And so let's switch over to that. So let's say that we are a dental office. So let's say a dental office in Denver. And so we're a dental office. We're looking to break into the digital marketing scene as a dentist. Let's just take a look at what other dental offices in the area are doing. So we see a few dental offices that are advertising. Obviously, anytime someone is advertising, we want to check out their funnels because by definition, if they're spending money on ads, then it's almost certainly making them money, which means that they have their funnels dialed in. And so we'll click on those ads and just open them up in new tabs. And we've got a few home pages here. We'll open these up in new tabs as well. All right, so we've got a handful of dental offices open. So now let's just kind of check them out. So these first three here were all ads that we clicked on. And so we see here that their offer is $59 cleaning, exams, and x-rays. That's great. There's kind of a lot going on this page, to be honest. I don't really think that this is an ideal page. I think that this request an appointment, which is definitely the thing that they want to happen the most, I think it needs to be much more front and center. Like this right here almost looks like it's the primary call to action, and this just goes to like an about page and read reviews. Yeah, there's too much going on in this landing page, in my opinion, which is a competitive advantage that you would have as a dentist. You would not make this mistake. But essentially, their offer is, a great deal for your first visit, $59 for a first visit. And then if you click on this, we'll open it up in a new tab. And I almost always open things up in a new tab just so I can see the entire funnel in my tabs. Then we have an appointment request here, which is a little bit janky. So that's Hampton Dental Group. Let's take a look at Stapleton Modern Dental. The exact same. So that's interesting. So that tells me that Hampton Dental and Stapleton Modern Dental is potentially the same office. If not the same office, then definitely the same marketing agency, but it's potentially the same office, and they just have multiple websites so that they are, let's see here, Hampton Dental, Stapleton Modern Dental. So they are different addresses. So it must just be like they're using the exact same theme. It's potential that they're owned by the same conglomerate, or they're using the exact same website theme. The same marketing agency could manage these sites for them, which is interesting. So the exact same offer. So that's interesting. We'll move on to the Bellevue Dental Office here, $59. Wow. So that's very, very interesting. So everyone has the exact same offer, which is shocking to me. There's obviously something to this offer. So, honestly, if I was trying to come in here, I would probably cut the price even more. Maybe just make it free. $59 is not that much money to acquire a new client. Make it free, or maybe make it like $19, right? Let's see here. So Barot's Dental here has the same exam, cleaning, and x-rays. This is a pop-up. Their lead magnet, though, is $150, which is pretty aggressive. Let's see what that landing page looks like. So obviously this is a smaller practice, right? It's probably literally owned by this one guy. Meet Dr. Barot's. And so these guys are probably owned by corporations, and so they have more funding. They're able to pay more to acquire a customer. He probably wants to break even, if not profit, and so that's why his lead magnet is $150. And yeah, I would say that this page is way too busy as well. Well, it's because, let's see here, Barot's. I think that was an organic. Yeah, Barot's Dental there is an organic, so that goes straight to its homepage. So that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, even for a homepage though, I would still rather see like a big up front and center, book a call or claim your your cleaning now. So that's Barot's. Let's check out Metro Dental Care. This is a pretty terrible website. Yeah, no clear action or no clear guidance as to what you're supposed to do at all. Really no excuse for how bad this website is. They must have been around for a long time, or they have an agency running their SEO because they're on the first page. This is a pretty bad site, but so this is not a good example. So we'll just get rid of them because they're pretty bad. And then we've got Cosmetic Dentistry Denver. And again, this is a home page. Again, not immediately clear what you're supposed to do when you get here, which is, again, just an area where you can where you as a marketer could come in and add value to anyone and actually have a competitive advantage over these guys by building out a page and a funnel that converts. So let's check and see if they have any deals for new patients. Oh, looks like, okay, interesting. So it looks like this is actually just a lead gen website. So this isn't actually a well, potentially it is. Let's see if Stam Dental has their own page, but I think this is probably just a lead gen page, which is very interesting. Nope, it's not. So Stam Dental is actually Cosmetic Dentistry Denver.com. So again, this is not a great, a super fantastic website. So as far as sites to take a look at here, let's just pull up our whiteboard. So we've got Hampton Dental. So again, first thing that we need to do is just list out our competitors, right? So we've got Hampton Dental. And we've got Stapleton, which is, I mean, it's the exact same funnel. It's super interesting. And then we've got Bellevue dentist office here. And we've got Barot's Dental. So we've got Barot's Dental down here, and all three of them have a very simple funnel, which is, where was that? It was $150, if I remember correctly. Yep, here it is. So all three of them have a lead magnet, which is just simply a exam, cleaning, and x-ray. Cleaning, x-ray for between $59 or $150. And so due to the fact that all three of those sites have this as their lead magnet, and they are spending money on AdWords on driving traffic to this lead magnet, I would venture to guess that this lead magnet here, this offer, probably works for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't all be spending money on that same thing. Let's take a look at these ads that are below the fold here and just see what types of offers they're running. Let's see. This is terrible. That explains why they're below the fold. They deserve to be. Let's see. So these guys are making more of a brand play. They want you to choose their office based on the neighborhood, which I guess if you're a hipster, maybe that's important to you. Personally, I don't care where my dentist is located, but I guess I'm not everyone. Doesn't look like they have any real offers or anything like that. And then we've got Highlands Dentist again, which is again $59. And let's see, yeah, wow, that must be either one conglomerate or there's just an agency that's just copying and pasting all of these websites for all of these dentists. But again, $59, cleaning exam and digital x-rays. So this lead magnet right here is clearly working. And so the very first thing that I would do if I'm coming in and advertising for a new dentist is I would say, okay, well, we are going to make this offer, right? Like, why reinvent the wheel? If literally everyone is doing it, then let's start there. We can split test it against a different offer if we want to get fancy, but depending on our budget, the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start running ads to literally this same offer. So literally the same offer. Maybe I would lower the price to like $49 or $39, or maybe even make it free. But I would just run an ad to that same offer, and then I would just optimize the landing page much better than everyone else to make it very clear and have like a single call to action and some like social proof, and then another very big call to action, and then just have a very streamlined actual schedule process so that they can do everything online in like 30 seconds or less. And that, in a nutshell, is the funnel that I would create right there. I could have that funnel up and running within, a couple hours. And with a very high degree of certainty, I would expect this funnel to convert because everyone else is using this offer, which tells me that this offer is obviously working to acquire new customers. And so that's a great example of how to do sort of just like at a rough level. Obviously, you can spend more time and energy and do a more thorough job of this, but this is an example of how to do sort of a funnel R&D process in a very short period of time for like a dental agency. This was completely off the cuff. I'd never looked at any of these sites before shooting this video. So let's do one more example, and let's do, what do we want to do? Let's say we want to take a look at what do we want to do? A digital product of some sort. Let's say we want to take a look at a software product. Software companies are usually pretty bad at their acquisition, though. Let's say we want to take a look at a day trading course. Usually those guys are pretty sophisticated. So let's search for let's say we have a day trading like financial education product, and we're trying to look at the competition and see what they're doing. So let's take a look here. Day trading course. So we can immediately see we've got a few people advertising on AdWords, which is great. So we can take a look at what they're doing. Got an EDU site. That's interesting. So I always check, the very first things that I want to check are the guys spending money on ads, because that tells me that they most likely have their funnels pretty dialed. Obviously, the people who show up on social are probably the people who have been around the longest, but you can show up on page one of Google and be really bad at customer acquisition. You're just good at SEO. So I always check on the ads first, and then SEO second if I'm interested. So this is interesting. So this ad here goes straight to their homepage, which is interesting, and their homepage is moderately well optimized, I guess. Man, that literally looks like he photoshopped. Yeah, he totally did. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to try and refrain from snide remarks. But you can see here that their primary call to action is their get my free starter kit. And so if you click on that, you know, standard lead magnet, I would imagine this actually really sucks because you have no idea what a starter kit even is at all whatsoever. Yeah, let's just check out what it is. So test at nope.com. Let's see what it looks like. They use Infusionsoft, so that's interesting. Oh, they're gonna make us confirm our subscription, so I'm not gonna take the time to do that. Yeah, but nowhere in this have they told us what a starter kit is, which is just terrible. That's like rule number 1 of a lead magnet is you need to be specific on the result that you're gonna get. So that's terrible. They need to do a better job there. I do like how they have the content segmented here. So that people can sort of self-select to where they go. Let's see if it goes into a funnel or if it okay, so this is a blog post. They've got a day trading guide here. They've got some lifestyle stuff. So that's just kind of like the social media side of things. So none of these links work. They have a really janky contact. So this site, if you're the fact that these guys are, it seems like they've been around a while and they have, you know, they have a decent amount of content, but it's not put together in any coherent way that I can tell at all, which tells me that if you're going up against these guys, you could probably beat them. So they have a program here called Day Trade Academy. Let's see. Looks like they run webinars. Let's check and see if these are evergreen. They almost certainly are. They've got their guide here. Okay, so this page is a little bit better. They run through what it takes to be a day trader, etc. Interesting. Watch our recorded webinar here. Okay, so really they're just doing whatever they can to get your email, and then they communicate everything else via email, which personally I think is a mistake in 2018. But they do have a recorded webinar here. Let's see what if there is a call to action. It doesn't really look like they even have a pitch anywhere, so that's interesting. Yeah, overall not super impressive, so let's move on from this. Oh, okay, so they have their guide right here, which is cool. They don't even make you opt in for this one apparently. So they have a decent amount of content, but they definitely I'm assuming that they hit you pretty hard via emails once you actually subscribe, but they don't really give you any compelling reasons to subscribe. So you can beat these guys by following the methods in this program. Let's take a look. This is Columbia Business School on value investing. That's interesting. So I mean, this is gonna be difficult to compete with. I mean, this is a pretty standard page. Ultimately, someone who's gonna sign up for this is doing it based on their brand, not so much for their conversion optimization. So that's fine. But yeah, this is an overall good page. So basically they have a single call to action, which is get certified, and they make you fill in this info to get info on the program, which makes sense because it's an ad, so they want to capture your contact info as soon as possible. So this is a good example, and basically it's like, hey, here's the program from Columbia Business School. They tell you everything up front. Everyone who opts in here is going to be very qualified. And so that's that. Let's check out what Online Trading Academy is doing. So this is interesting. They've got, they do live events. Okay, so that's their model. So they do live events, which are basically the equivalent of webinars. They just do live events and then pitch you at the live event. Interesting. Once a week. And then so this thing tells you where you're at and then tells you when they do these live events. So these guys are pretty old school, probably pretty hardcore. And this is straight from an AdWords. So you go to AdWords and you have to choose one of these classes to a live event. Based on the fact that this works, I would say that absolutely you could run AdWords to a webinar and would see similar, if not better, results simply because the barrier to entry to show up to a live event is pretty high. Let's see if it costs me anything. I doubt it does. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna put my info in there, but that's what their funnel looks like. Let's take a look at what their website looks like here. It's just tradingacademy.com, so we can go to their homepage, not their landing page. Yeah, so they're pushing those live events hard. Find a free half-day class in your area. Yep, so basically they run live webinars as opposed to virtual webinars. They got some lead magnets here. So these guys, their entire business is built around their live events. That's how they acquire their customers. So that tells me that webinars would be a very good model here. Yeah, like tools. This is all for SEO stuff, most likely. So we've got Stock Option Coach. So let's check out options training. Interesting. So this is his private coaching service. So basically he's saying, hey, I'll give you 20 minutes of free training and then I'll upsell you at the end of that. So the fact that he devotes this much real estate to talking about himself is just poor. So let's find out more. Let's see. Yep, so that's his go-to, is just a live 20-minute consultation and training session. And so yeah, based on what I'm seeing, all of these are pretty subpar funnels and subpar marketing. There's nothing like this website is just all talks about himself and not about his target market, which is not ideal. And basically his version of a webinar is just a one-on-one 20-minute training call. Potentially, or it could be a pre-recorded 20-minute training session. But most likely it's one-on-one. Not sure. A great trick. Let's just see how successful this guy is, judging roughly by how much traffic he gets. So a great trick is to go to similarweb.com. And what was his site? stockoptioncoach.com. Let's just see how much traffic he gets. I mean, the fact that he's spending on AdWords is... Okay, so he's a pretty small site. He doesn't even have enough data to show up here. But I mean, the fact that he was spending on AdWords tells me that he's probably making money. And so based on what I've seen, this is like a college course. These guys just have a book, lead magnet. This was another ad. And we've got this guy, Warrior Trading. This is a Google AdWords straight to a webinar. This is a really great landing page. Yeah, this is good. Very specific. What you'll learn, talks about what you get. This is good stuff. And it's an evergreen webinar. So So again, same thing. Basically, you just list out the top 3 competitors here based on what you saw. So there's Day Trading Academy, there's tradingacademy.com, there's stockoptioncoach.com, and then warriortrading.com, tradingacademy.com, and stockoptioncoach.com both basically use the webinar funnel. These guys use an in-person event, and then this guy does a one-on-one 20-minute call. And then these guys actually do use an evergreen webinar. So based on what I saw, I would know that the first thing I'm going to test is setting up a webinar funnel, just driving traffic straight to a webinar, and then just doing a better job of making it very clear what the benefit of that webinar is for the people who register. And I think it would be very simple, assuming you have a product that can back it up, the experience to back it up, etc. I think it'd be pretty simple to beat a lot of these guys because the marketing that I'm seeing here is just not very impressive, with the exception of these guys. Based on what I'm seeing here, these guys know what they're doing. It doesn't really seem like anyone else does. So again, this was all moving pretty fast, but you can see how it doesn't take long. We've been going for 20 minutes or so actually doing this live, and it does not take long at all to get a really good feel for what's working in the market and how you can then apply it to your own offer, to your own products and services, and how you can really just get started right away and leapfrog past your competition based on what they're doing and just based on the areas of weakness that they have and the areas of opportunity that you see.